Hello everybody and welcome to this first episode of the Rainbow Color Series. I don't know what I'm going to call it, so that's just the name so far. Today we're doing red or crimson. I know this is a big color. I know a lot of people like using red and crimson. So I thought, you know what? We're going to just start out today with the most light color. I will be going in rainbow order. So that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. I think I'll do pink before purple, but I don't know. White and black. I'll see if I do those, but anyway, let's get on with crimson now. Crimson is a really cool color, but it's also a very dangerous color because we have a color that's very bright. If you've ever tried going on the orange side and trying to go like a dark red, it will still always be lighter than if you have like a dark blue, for example, seeing as blue is a very cold color and it's a very deep and dark color as well, and red is a very bright color. But what is really cool about red is that you can color match it very nicely and stuff becomes invisible if you do double red on stuff. So like say for example if we do a mainframe here, because red is bright on both, we're using a red bright primary and a red bright secondary, we can blend those colors really well. So if we have like a slipstream, you can barely see it. If you have a heat wave, we can barely see it. If you have an exalter, like you can only really see the middle. Like you don't really see that much of both sides. So today I'm going to be telling you how to work with this color and like what the best combinations are. And so if you like crimson, then you'll definitely want to stick around for this. So first of all, I want to show you guys how to use crimson as a primary, then as a secondary, and then we're going to go into some weird trivia and shit afterwards. So first of all, for the primary colors, red, like crimson as a bright color is really cool. If you're looking to go more try-hard, then I would recommend going for like a darker one, or maybe you can even go like a slight shade off, which is also perfectly fine. Crimson you will find in the primary category here, so that is just this kind of thing. If you're going more this way, this I would also maybe define as red still, but it's not really a crimson color. So it's more this column that is the red. If you're looking for secondaries, you will find crimson on this column, but also the very last column, it like wraps around. So you can also use variants of this color as a secondary, or as a secondary because primary doesn't exist. So you can use this like pinkish red as well. So it's kind of the same color. So what can we use as a primary? What designs look cool with a red primary? We can use decals and just a red painted car. And if you go on the bright red, then they match very well. Makes a very clean look, so we can have a car like this. That is pretty cool. If we make it matte as well, that will match very nicely. So that is a cool way you can use red as a primary. You can also use it dark, which also looks fine. I would then recommend not using a crimson painted octane because it will not match. But yeah, that is a way you can use it as a primary. In other decals, using red really can take up the decal, or it can add like nice little accents, like on the Interstellar, for example. If we use a different color, for example, we use orange, then you see the red in there, but you also, it's not really too present. That's why I said at the beginning, you want to be careful with red, because if you use too much of it, it can look cool if you like the color, but if it's not really your color, you should probably tend towards the darker shades, so it doesn't take up too much of the decal. If you do want to take up a lot of the decal, you can use animated decals are really cool with red, because if you use a very bright color, it's very like bright on the decal. Well, that's duh, but it takes up a lot of the decal. And by takes up a lot of decal, I don't mean like the area. I mean like if you're drawn to it visually, if that makes sense. So yeah. Cool colors to match with crimson, or red in this case. I'm going to be varying those two terms, I'm very sorry. So if you have a red as a primary, if you haven't checked out my how to work with colors video, then you should do that. But usual cool colors are other warm colors like orange and yellow, that works well. Other colors as well is like a sky blue, so you can do like a swap system here where you have a sky blue red car and a red sky blue car, so that works really well. Other colors with crimson also to use are like pink colors. So if you use something like this, then it blends really, really nicely because pink is like a differentiation of red. So that works very, very well too. You can also just use red as well. Neutral colors go well with it too, white and black in that aspect. Colors I would stray away from would be like a dark blue if you're trying to mix it, unless you really want that purple. And green, because green and red give off a very exotic vibe, and if you're not going with that, then I really can't see why you would use this color combination, seeing as green and red give off a they're two very clashing colors. So I don't know if you want to use that, like you can use that like this, but other than that I'm not really sure if you want to use that. So let's have a look at crimson as a secondary color. Yeah, let's take this off. There we go. So what colors can I use red with as a secondary color? As I said before, you can use sky blue, which looks really, really nice. You can also use a dark blue or like a super dark. In this case, red as the secondary really works well because red is very, very bright, as I said before. So if you make like a really, really dark blue and like a red secondary, then you can make some really cool designs like this, or you can use that blue side to really bring out the red, basically giving you two red sides if you don't have Bacchus mod and you don't feel like doing that kind of thing. So you can do like this kind of thing where you have red on both sides, or you can do like a slipstream where you have it on black, and then you kind of have two red cars because the dark blue is like almost black. So that's one way to use red as a secondary. Another way to use red as a secondary is also in combination with other stuff. So say for example you want to go for like a sky blue, or let's go for cobalt instead, seeing as it's a bit darker, and then you can go sky blue and then you can match that. Or if you have other painted decals, red is also pretty cool, matching with sky blue, yellow and red. That forms like a triad of colors. Another cool thing you can use red for is also in combination with other warm colors, so basically vice versa what I said in the beginning. So all warm colors work well together, that's red, orange and yellow, and all cold colors work together, but we'll be getting to that once we go onto the blue side. As I said as well, animated decals are actually really cool with red because as I said, it's very bright, you can see it. So that is pretty cool there. One of my favorite combos is with a Crimson Thanatos because it has like the Reaper theme, and then you, as I beginning said, you do the dark primary, we slap a little paint on that, and then we use a different color, so something like this. And you can see here, like I'm using red more of as a secondary outlining color. And that works really, really nice because it's really bright. It doesn't have to be on the card too much so that I can see that there's red on it. You know, there'll be other colors coming up in this series where it'll be more of a shorter video because you can't really use them too well. That's what I think anyway, but other people might complain. Yeah, so that is how you use a crimson really, really nicely on the blue side and on the orange side. I think crimson is a very, very easy color to use. I think I'm going to put that in the easy category because it's a very good looking color anyway. Top stuff to have for this, in my opinion. Crimson decals are really, really, really cool if you like the color, of course, but if I don't know why you would be watching this video if you don't like crimson. Another really cool decal to have is the heatwave, because heatwave does, as I said before, it really, really looks nice with like the secondary and the matching car. I do feel like if you like red a lot, you should definitely get a painted car to match that as well. Things I don't really recommend are wheels. I don't think crimson wheels look that good, especially if you're using older versions of wheels, because if you're using older versions, the crimson is really dark, unless you're into that kind of thing, but hey, each to his own. I do feel like wheels aren't really that good because crimson wheels are very, very bright. Even if you look at like Cristiano wheels, they take up a lot of the visual attention that you pay to the car. So that is pretty interesting. Unless you're going for that whole theme, then I would say go for those wheels. But if not, I would probably stick to more neutral wheels or to more matching ones, seeing as crimson wheels are really, really bright. So that is just a tip from me. Make sure not to over crimsonize your car. Unless you're going for that, then you can do that too. I also have a preset here that's literally just all crimson, and I'll be showing you how to do that in a future video. But anyway, I hope you liked this first episode of my little series about painted colors. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will answer them there. And until then, I'll see you guys later, and peace.